within group. We are so pumped to be here. We have Devan on with us. She won our first ever live leadership strategy call. So we are pumped to have you, Devan.
Thank you for having me. Super nervous still.
Oh, I was saying to Allie, I was like, oh, Devan does lives all the time. Like, it's going to be awesome. And Devan's like, I'm nervous. I'm like, girl, you're going to rock it. So give her some love and yeah, pop on. If you're watching the replay, let us know. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to learn some insights around how we actually are all very similar in a lot of different ways, and how when you're listening to someone get some advice, it can probably apply very much so in your life as well. So tune on and see what's going on in Devan's life. We're going to focus in a little bit on, monetizing passions with Devan. We chatted a little bit before the call. I was like, no, we have to go live. This is all the good stuff. Don't talk about it yet. And, building up that confidence and just being who you are. So that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. And yeah, super excited to have this first call.
I'm so excited too. And it's actually funny this week so Carly and I have a leadership course that we're running right now. And this week, one of our topics is actually built around teaching and how really great leaders are really great teachers. And sometimes we don't think that we have this capacity to teach, but we really teach in story. And like Carly had said, like that's how we connect to other people, is through stories. And you go, oh my gosh, me too. I feel you. I relate to that. I connect to that. And so today we're excited to hear Devan's story, get a little bit of background so you guys can get to know her a little bit more too. And then, yeah, let's dive into strategizing. So Devan, I know you previously shared with Carly and I, but maybe just for everybody here, share a little bit about your background and things that you're up to.
Okay, cool. Here we go. So a little bit about me. First off, I'm excited to be here. This is crazy. I've always followed you guys, and I just love everything that you guys stand for, first off. So,
oh, thank you.
So first, I am married to a funny dude, and I have a 3-year-old who is crazy, very busy all the time. But I absolutely love every minute about it. He pretty much sets my soul on fire. That little guy is just, he's just perfection. But anyways, he is pretty much the whole reason why I started kind of looking for different opportunities around to be able to stay home with him, because I am a certified registered pharmacy technician by trade. Yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Well, I guess ever since I had Sawyer, like before I had Sawyer, that's what I was doing. I was pharmacy. And I really loved doing that. I loved learning about all the different medications that were there and how it would help different people with, even the littlest thing that made them feel. I always liked being able to help people. So then, I guess it kind of pushed me into this direction of trying to, help different people on a different form kind of thing. So, I guess dipped my toes in a few different online, direct sales, different affiliations kind of thing, just to see what my niche was, what really made me want to do it. And I found that just trying different things and showing people that you don't have to be this specific person in order to try something new, and not to be scared to look silly when you do it for the first time. Like that was hard for me when I first started. I was always worried about what people were going to think. Like, oh my gosh, she looks weird, her nose is pointy and all this stuff, right? Like you just think of the worst things, and then you just do it. And then you get this, you get some mean messages sometimes, because, that's life. But then you get the one message from someone who's like, you know what, that was the best thing ever. I did not know that, being a stay-at-home parent, you could do that. Like, I didn't know you were able to do that. So it just takes one person, and then it just kind of keeps going one step at a time, slow, fast. It doesn't really matter, but it's forward.
Yes.
Like my expression in life, if forward is forward, whether it's an inch or a mile, it's forward. And anyone, I wish I could have been in the chat right now. I was like, preach it, sister. That was so good, because who else feels like I'm too scared to get on and start a business. I am too scared to do a go live. I am too scared because I am worried about what other people are going to think about me.
Mm-hmm.
How many people can feel that where like we've held up our phone and been like, oh, no, not today. Today's not the day I'm going to do that go live. Today's not the day I'm going to tell my friends and family that I want to start a business. Today's not the day, because we just live in this worry and that fear of what will others think of me.
Totally. And even and even just like the feeling of not being aligned with something. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I just don't know. Like I want to get involved in the online space, but I don't really know what I could do. And I want to be able to stay home more with my family. And Devan, you were sharing before we went live that there's some things that you kind of do just on the side, which is super interesting, but you haven't quite monetized it yet. Can you share a little bit about that? Because we really feel that you can monetize frickin' anything. Like and monetize meaning you can make money from your passions, whatever you want. So you don't even have to have a company that you're necessarily aligned with. You can make up your own, right? Which is so cool. So can you share a little bit? It was so interesting to hear what you've been up to.
Okay, so some of the really cool things is I've had the opportunity to try different product, and how it started was I just tried a random black tar mask. Was the creepiest looking thing online you've ever saw. And a lady asked me, Devan, have you ever tried this product before? And I said, no, it kind of freaks me out, to be totally honest with you. And so then they sent me this product. Apparently she owned it. So she sent it to me and she wanted me to share my feedback. So I went live. I applied this mask. It was the most painful mask ever because when you put it on, it literally like ripped your face off a little bit. And so, well, the live video was freaking hilarious because, you know, when you're trying to peel something off and it just kind of like your whole face kind of falls off a little bit and then you just kind of go from there. So it was super, I don't know. I found so much joy and fun from that because everyone was like, oh my God, look at your face. And I was like, I know, right? Like, look at my face. And so I just thought, you know what? Why not? Why not just keep trying different products? Because there's so many different products out there. Why not keep trying them? Share your feedback because it's like the same thing. You're wearing Adidas shoes, but you've always saw this Nike pair that you just wanted to try, but you just never wanted to because you want to know if someone else has tried it first to see if you would like it. So I just kept trying different things. You know, I've tried magnetic eyelashes. Those things are very difficult to put on.
I've been curious about those. That's funny.
Like, well, it could be because I'm awful at makeup, I guess. Like, I'm really bad. So when I try and maybe because when I take my glasses off, I'm blind. So it's like I'm going blind the whole time. But so, I mean, that's really fun to watch. And so I got to try some of those. Super interesting. I mean, they work like a hot dang. Like if you're really good with, you know, applying different things to your face, they're wonderful. Beats using mascara sometimes, especially if you have sensitive eyes. But what was another one of the fun ones? Oh, it was an Icelandic mask. They actually brought an Icelandic mask for me. It was made out of like rocks and seashells and stuff. So I got to put that on. And it's one of the side. Well, I guess it was written in Icelandic. So I Googled how to put it on. You're supposed to just apply it like, doo, 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 doo. I actually rubbed it in to put it like a mat. Nope.
Oh my gosh.
It literally was peeling your face off. Like I could not get it off for the life of me. People were calling me, what was the lady? She's a little redhead with little curly hair and the
Brave or whatever?
Oh, shoot. I can't remember not Betty. Shoot. I can't. She's a really old TV show. And they were calling me like, because she was hilarious. It was just so funny to watch, I guess. But anyways, so I just love trying different things and showing people that, you know, there's so many options out there.
Yeah. I love that.
To be laughed at. So
I love that. And like, again, this is like when Carly was talking about like how we can be multi-passional and we can turn something that we're super passionate in. You can turn pretty much anything into a business. And recognizing that something that you might think is like quirky or weird or whatever, you can actually monetize that. You can make money from just about anything if you really want to. And if you like, you could have like an Instagram, try it before you buy it. Hashtag try it before you buy it. And you get to be that person that's like, guys, I'm going to try it before you need to buy it. So then, or then you pair up with companies or you build affiliate connections where you're the one sampling or doing things and you're funny and people are like, oh my God, that was hilarious. Or, oh, I really want to get that now. Like that's how I will make half of my purchases is I read the reviews first because I want to know what other people have experienced before I then choose to make a decision. So I think that's one of the coolest things. And especially if you're niche, if you know, like we were discussing prior to this call, but that you have some issues with thyroid where it's like, okay, I'm doing different things to help with my thyroid. That's a really niche marketplace that other people could be struggling in or wanting to explore in. I was saying how I'm vegetarian and gluten-free and you're veggie too, or sorry, you're gluten-free as well. But there's so many gluten-free products where it's like, is it going to be good or is it going to be gross? And I'm like, I just want someone to tell me before I buy it if I should buy it. Because gluten-free products aren't cheap, they're expensive. So you get these noodles or you get these pretzels and then you're like, waste it. You're like, ugh, you have one thing and you're like, well, that was gross. And I just love the idea of like the try before you buy and someone doing like, look at the kids on YouTube that are making $2 million opening presents and testing toys. So there is a marketplace and a niche for anything. If you truly are passionate about something, I always think it's like, is there a way to put money behind my passion so then I get to stay home with my dog child, but with your children or your family, but you're also doing the things that make your soul feel happy so then you're aligned in what you're doing. Because there are a lot of different options for staying home. A lot of us, I mean, I stay home, I do digital marketing and then obviously run Ambition Babes, but there is MLMs and network marketing and direct and sales. And there's so many different ways for people to earn a living at home. It's what aligns for you. And that also brings your passion to the table. So it doesn't just feel like, yeah, I'm making money, but I'm not happy in it. It's what makes me happy, but what also pays my bills. So I can match the two. And it's honestly small little strategies that you can maximize what you're doing to then start to monetize it.
Yeah. It comes down to you can do anything you want as long as you're consistent with it. So if you only posted a video once a month, you're probably not going to see many relationships formed. You're not going to have much of a following. But if you were consistently doing something like that, you know, just the humor, because it sounds like they're super funny and I've seen some of them, just the humor alone is going to bring people in, never mind even if they wanted to try the product. Like you've got kind of a double-edged sword here. You're not just like reviewing the product, but you're also doing it in a very humorous way. Education and humor are two things that really sell in the marketplace. So like, do you have a YouTube account or my new favorite, which I actually have not been consistent on, I've just got so much going on, but TikTok, I got like 1,700 followers in only a couple weeks just from posting regular videos on TikTok. And like I was posting funny videos and people were just eating them up, right? So I could totally see you having a following and starting to build relationships with affiliate companies that you could then review products and make it, you know, a whole show.
Yeah. Like
I have tried TikTok. I have tried it, but I'm not very good at it.
It
Like,
takes a while.
Turns a little weird and I don't know. Maybe I'm just not, I don't know. But anyway, I've tried TikTok, not very good at it. So it's kind of like a slow trying to figure it out kind of thing. I love Instagram. I finally figured out Instagram because I'm mostly a picture person and I'm obsessed with my child and my dogs and, you know, all the my good things in life. So I'm obsessed with them. So I take photos of them all the time. But yeah, so I do have Instagram. I do have like our Naturally New Beauty Shop is where I do most of my trials and demonstrations and where people ask me all the different questions. And
is that a group?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's been, that's where I started for when I did my first, I guess it was an MLM with the whitening toothpaste. And that's what they told you that you had to do. Like, you know, create a group, put all these people in it. But I never did that. I just created a group and just started. And then if people wanted to go in, they're more than welcome.
Yeah.
But I don't like putting people in things because you can't really force somebody or convince anyone to do anything, even if it's for health or just, you know, things for themselves. If they want to do it, they will. If they won't, They'll have nothing to do with it. And that's totally fine. That's how it should be. You have the right to choose if you want to be a part of it, essentially, for the most
100%.
part.
Yeah, I think add value. That's the biggest thing.
And a really cool thing about Instagram, just to touch on Insta, is you get to tag companies. So you could either take a picture where you tag people, and you could tag Nike or whomever, and you can tag them and they'll get that notification. Or when you're storying, you can add that tag, and a company might see you and go, she's really funny, and oh, she's using our products and she's promoting us to her followers. I'm going to send her a free sample, or I'm going to, whatever. And then that could eventually turn into a working relationship just based off of what you're doing already. These are just ways that you could take other steps forward that could potentially lead to a really great connection with a company that you're starting to monetize the things that you're doing as a passion anyways. I just always look at something through that business lens where it's like, this brings me so much joy. And I'm like, can I make money doing it?
Yeah.
Because we all got bills to pay. And I am the biggest proponent of multiple streams of income.
Yep.
I think is one of the most powerful things and wise things that anyone can do for themselves is we never rely on just that one income source, which most people, it's a job. The jobs aren't stable, even though we all think they are, they're not. You can get fired, you can get laid off, your boss could burn down the building. You could get injured. I got injured. I mean, there's a shit ton of things that could go right or wrong at a job. So if that is eliminated, then you feel like, holy shit, I'm totally hooped. What do I do now? So that's why I think getting into some kind of a side business, and it doesn't have to be this big thing initially, which I think is what blocks a lot of people from starting, is they think it has to be, I have to have all the followers and have all the pieces and everything in place. And then you get analysis paralysis. And it's like, holy shit, I just can't do it. It's not for me. Mm-hmm. So it's just one, again, like you had said, one foot in front of the other. You just have to keep starting to move forward, aligning yourself in with people or communities. If it's getting a business coach, someone that you can learn or be mentored from for a little while, just to start to get the ideas turning. But even in these strategy calls, going like, hey, like I really like that, or that's something I can do, and I could build a YouTube, even filming yourself, getting a tripod and filming yourself doing stuff so it's not live, and then you can post that into IGTV and you can tag in your comment section. And there's just so many ways that you could start to turn a passion into something that also provides for your family too.
Yeah, and you can purpose that material too. So say if you were to use a video for YouTube, you could also put it in your Instagram. You could chunk it up and put it on your Facebook. You could take a screenshot and put it, on your Instagram post. Like there's so many different ways. And as Ali said, you don't need to have like this big, huge following. There's a lot of companies that are actually wanting to connect with micro influencers, people that have anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000 followers. That's a more attainable thing than say getting 50,000 followers and not having many engaged. If you can add value to your marketplace and stay consistent, even if you've got a smaller audience, they're going to be more likely to trust you. And so if you are doing those kinds of things and you're building those relationships, and like Ali said, you can start off by not having a relationship at all, but maybe you really love a product and you post about it all the time, they're going to see that and reach out to you, unless they're Green Giant, because I do it all the time and I've been trying to get an affiliate relationship with them, but they will not message me. But I feel that I should be an affiliate for the Green Giant company.
She loves that cauliflower rice. It's so good. You influenced me, Carly, because now I love that cauliflower rice.
I've influenced a lot of people, and Green Giant should give me a cut because that's BS, okay? You know what? I'm doing a really good thing out there for them. Anyway, most other nice companies will message you, and, maybe because Green Giant's a little too big. They've already got it. They're in the superstores. But especially if it's like a very unique kind of product or something that's not maybe it's just kind of like a budding thing. Those are really great ones to like get your foot in the door. And then once you can show statistics of sales and different things to other companies, you can say, hey, like here's a relationship that I had with this mask company, and I gave my followers a coupon code and they ended up selling X number of masks because of this. I have this number of followers. You know, would you be interested in, you know, having an affiliate relationship with me? Like, there's so many things that you can do. And yeah, in the beginning, it might just be getting free product, but then you can start to build up, you know, where you're actually making money from it. And then sooner or later, you've got, you know, these really great successful affiliate relationships where you can then charge, like, I mean, some influencers can charge a ridiculous amount of money just to do a shout out or to do like 5 stories or whatever it may be. And the only advice I would say in that, and I've heard this from other really major influencers, is that, you know, you never want to lie about a product if you are not aligned with it, then making sure that you tell people, because the first time you review a product and you say that it's great and it's not, and, you know, you feel like you have to because you've gotten money from the person, your followers will definitely see through that. So if you are building relationships with companies, before saying that you're going to recommend the product, I would suggest trying it out yourself, seeing if you like it, and then promoting it to your followers, because yeah, I feel like you have a really great edge with it because of that extra humor factor as well.
That's like, I just love, like, we are content consuming creatures. Most of us spend time, you know, watching Instagram stories or watching Facebook lives, or we just love to consume content. And like Carly said, like, we love to be entertained and people love to laugh. So if you can add in that component where it's not just like, so I've got this new flamingo pen and it is amazing. This ballpoint is such a smooth write. My journaling has never been sharper. It's kind of like, I don't know, like maybe I'd be like, whatever. But if I was like, look at my fun flamingo pen. This thing is amazing. This ballpoint, I have never written so smooth in my life. I love it. Love you, Virgil. Anyways, you know what I mean? I would watch option 2, right? Like, if you could add in a little weirdness, I think that that just shows how authentic you are. And I think that that's something that's lost on a lot of people that do share products and ideas. It's kind of like, feels a little bit scripted or just not authentic. Mm-hmm. And I think, again, like we were talking about at the very beginning, is showing up as authentically you. And if I want to be weird with my flamingo and 20 people go, oh, Hallie's so weird, there's an unfollow button on my page. You know, it's there for a reason. If you guys think I'm weird, you don't have to follow me. But for the 10 that think Allie's so funny, I love her, and then I'm like, I'm showing up for you. I'm showing up for those 10 that love versus the 20 that hate. That's okay, because there's going to be a blend no matter what in the online space of lovers and haters. And not that we have to grow thicker skin, but it's just allowing ourselves to know that we are creating an impact and what we are doing matters. And the audience that you're wanting to reach is going to be reached. And I think that you have something really special to share.
Mm-hmm. That was really good. I like that. And it was funny because, like, our brand, the brand that I created about 2 years ago now, it's Authentically Ambitious is our brand name. That's that we use for everything that we, you know, try, or, you know, for product that we're using and that kind of thing. That's our holder or hanger or whatever you want to call it, I guess. And yeah, so that was kind of cool. So when I don't know, I liked it. I love that. Have to be I don't like trying to fit in, because I never will. Like, I never will fit in. Ever. And
honestly, it's a lot harder to be not yourself than it is just to be yourself, because the mask of being someone that you're not, that gets heavy. It gets hard to be like, hi, so I'm Devan and these are my products I'm going to review and everything's super great and then my life's perfect. And then you're like, oh my God, like, this is exhausting. You're going to hate pressing play on your phone. You're going to dread hitting the record button because you're so out of alignment with who you are. And it's like, is this my values? Is this my message? Is this who I am? And I think that's when people really get burnt out, especially in the online space, is showing up not as themselves. It's really hard to build longevity in a career when you're out of alignment. So owning your authenticity is challenging, because we have societal standards. We all want to look and act and do a certain, like, what if I'm not pretty enough? And what if I'm not thin enough? Or what if I'm not enough? And that really comes down to, again, we wanted to review mindset today, but that really comes down to, who am I and what do I want in this world? Because we give so much weight to the opinions of others that it ends up like we're the ones crumbling. And they have no idea that they have so much power over us. And I had to repeat to myself, what other people think of me is none of my business. What other people think of me is none of my business. None of my business. Whether someone likes me or hates me, it's about me. Do I like me? Am I happy with me? And I think that the internal work is what will build you for a long, 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 long time, is the foundation that you build inside yourself, because that's what's going to grow your skin a little bit thicker, is how much do I love me? How much am I owning my message? How authentic do I feel in this space? Because you are gifted and you are talented. And even just in this first little bit before we went live, I was so captivated by you. I'm like, oh my God, I got to follow you online. Like, I want to learn all about you. And that's how easy it is when you feel a connection to somebody. You're like, oh, I just want to know you, love you, follow you, support you. And like, I'm like, I want you to have that channel.
Aww.
And that's how, yeah, but that's how amazing it is when someone's authentic instantly. It's like, oh, I connect.
Totally.
Well, that makes me feel really good. Because it is scary sometimes. I won't lie. There are some days that are a lot harder than others, and that's okay. I need to keep like what you said, you have to keep repeating to yourself, like, you know what? No, it's okay. They weren't very nice, but that's okay. You're still a nice person. It doesn't reflect on me that, maybe they have something going on in their life that they're just really upset about. So, share some, what was a book I read. It was what was it? When you enter a room, enhance the something. Well, that just killed that vibe, but
like enhance the experience.
Yeah, kind of thing. Like be the light that you want to see in the room, essentially. Yeah. So you just want to, if maybe they're sad in the room, just give that little bit extra, and then it might just help go through a little bit of what they're going through, kind of thing.
Totally. Yeah.
I have to read that later and figure it out.
No, that makes sense. It totally makes sense. And I think I've heard something like that too. So, Devan, before we sign off, a couple of things. Is there anything else? I know you kind of wanted to touch a little bit on mindset as well. So we've kind of covered, how monetizing your passions give you more of a push. Like, yes, like I totally think that you would have a really great opportunity in that, and staying consistent with it, really kind of developing some of those platforms, repurposing your content. And so now moving into a little bit of mindset before we go, is there anything that you're kind of just like, oh, there's like this other thing that I'm feeling I'm needing clarity or I'm having some blocks around? Is there anything else that we can help you with?
Teaching. I guess it would be what you guys were talking about, is being that person that shares value with your people who follow you, essentially. Because, like in our little community, there's people that are doing what I'm doing because I started to do it. But I wish I could have more ways to help them, because then sometimes they feel so like, oh my gosh, I want to be just like you. But within 2 days they get frustrated, and then they're just like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it because I'm not like you. I guess I'm just kind of trying to learn different ways and methods that I can kind of empower them to just be themselves and grow by themselves, but have me there kind of like, no, you're doing great, but in a way that kind of makes them feel good. I kind of think maybe.
I think it's so great. And I love that you're teaching others and that you already have people that are looking to you. It's not a surprise at all. And like, as a leader, your role, a big part of your role, is to create other leaders, which it sounds like people are already they're looking to you to do that. And so hearing that you're having like the struggle in getting them to understand their unique strengths, and a big thing is like putting pen to paper. So maybe connecting with those individuals and getting them to write out their individual strengths. They may not be a naturally funny people. There's just people out there that you're like, yeah, they're just not really funny. So they're not going to make videos like you, but maybe they're more detail orientated, or they can provide more information around like the finance piece of the products that you're, putting out there. Like they can help you budget to get them or whatever. Like there's so many different ways that you could make the same video about the product, but just in another way. So getting them to put pen to paper and writing out all of their strengths, when you start to acknowledge people for what they're great at, and yes, at the end of the day, we all have limitations. Nobody is perfect. But when you can start honing in and individually working with those people, and maybe just having an opportunity for them to connect with you, maybe in that group you were talking about, and if it's once a week or a couple times a month, just getting them to pop on with you to pick your brain and really just feel connected with you so that they can start to see that they don't have to be like you. That's not the point. They have to be like them. And authentically ambitious, that's such a great name, because that's what you're promoting to these people that you're working with, right? Is for them to be authentically ambitious in their own skin, not authentically ambitious like Devan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, pen to paper always works so great. Getting them to read, some mindset books to kind of get them out of that headspace that they aren't good enough to do this, because it's not even that they aren't like you. They're telling themselves they aren't good enough. And when people feel they aren't good enough, they don't like to step outside their comfort zone because they're afraid. So that would be something I would suggest for sure.
And from my perspective, so again, when someone's reaching out and they're like, I want to be like you. So I think it's so important to share your story, because a lot of times I say this a lot, people see your breakthrough, they don't see your been through. So you might see me here now on this screen and this platform and this company, but you don't see what I've been through. You don't know what I've endured in my life that has built me into a strong, resilient person that I am today. So sometimes even dropping your own walls to really share some vulnerability allows people to know, like, this journey has taken me a long time. A long time. And entrepreneurship is challenging. It is not a snap of the fingers. I've just made my first $1 million. Like, that just doesn't happen. And being really authentic with people to go, I've struggled. It has taken me time. I have endured things to get me to this place. And it is a fire inside my soul. That is what burns me and fuels me to keep moving forward. And you have to be so concrete on what is your why? What brought you here today? And I think when you can really hone in on why are you here? Why did you choose to start a side business? Because most people will say it's either time or money. I want more time with my family or in my life, or I need more money in my life. But it has to go deeper than that, because money doesn't create enough for us. It's a resource, but it's a renewable resource. Time is not. Time is precious, and this is all we have on this earth. So when people can really reflect on, why am I here? What do I want in my life? Because it has to be one of those things that if I'm just willing to throw in the towel so quickly, what else am I so willing to throw the towel in so quickly? So if they want to look to you, they need to look to you as a really strong, authentic leader for them, to show them, like, it's not easy, guys. I struggle every single day. I have my challenges, but I have my list of challenges, but I have my list of my why is way bigger. I am bigger than my struggles. I am bigger than my hurdles. You want to throw something in my way, I'm going to get around it. I'm going to figure a way over it. We're going under. I'm going through. But I'm not going to allow that hurdle to stop me from moving forward. And that will empower people to go, fuck, if she could do it, so can I. Excuse me. Because that's what people need to know, is that you're relatable to them, that you're not just sitting up on this pedestal of perfection where they're like, man, I want to be just like Devan. She's just, look at her crushing it. She's so funny. She's so great. She's this mom boss. Like, I want that too. It's like, yeah, guys, I am doing well, but it's because I show up, I'm consistent. I have my why, my family that fuels me every single day. I want to be at home with them. So I can't just be at home scrolling Instagram, hoping and praying I make money one day. I got to show up for that. And second to that, so tell in story, be authentic, and be vulnerable to share parts of yourself so people can understand that it's not just roses and sunshine in our life. Like, we all have endured a lot in our lives. And I think it's important for people to understand that that's what then causes that fuel and that fire, is usually past history of something that's happened in our life that we're like, I need and want better for my family. And second is highlighting people's strengths, like Carly had said. But for a lot of people, they may not see themselves in their best light yet, because maybe they haven't done a lot of work on themselves yet. They haven't worked on their mindset. They haven't really allowed themselves to kind of step into their 2.0 version. A lot of us can kind of live in our 1.0 where we're like, I want to change, but like, I don't really know how to shed the skin to get into my 2.0 self. And sometimes it just takes that one person that recognizes something about you that maybe you didn't see before. And you just acknowledge their gift. And that's like, oh, you see me. Paying attention to people is such a cue. I see you. I see your light. I see your energy. I see your humor. I see all these things. And it was real quick. That connection was instant. And it would take nothing for me to be like, Devan, I just see how confident you are. You're such a star. You're shining. You have this energy about you. Like, you seem like you're such a dedicated mom. Like, I would love to be your child. You seem like you'd be so fun. Like, but just like, I could think of a million things that I could say just instantly in 20 minutes of knowing you.
Will you be my mom?
Will you be my mom? I mean, I love my mom, but like just the way that you talked about your child, I'm like, that is a gift. And I hope one day if I'm ever a mom that I would equally talk about my child that same way, where they feel like they're the light of my life. I would talk about my dog. But that, if you say that to someone in a day, how that person is going to walk away from that interaction with you and go, wow, I feel touched. I feel moved. I feel connected. And now I feel like, yes, I'm going to show up a little bit more the next day because I feel seen. And we just always, we live in a perpetually negative society where we're often just kind of like on the downtrodden. Work sucks, life sucks, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I'm stressed, we tend to lean towards the negative. So if you have someone in your life where you get to be that light in the room, be the light that you want to project and want to feel back, but if you get to be that for other people and you shine a light on somebody and they go, oh, I feel seen, how much more is their energy going to shift to then show up for someone else in their life? You get to create that ripple effect. And it honestly, it doesn't take much time. It just takes a little bit of acknowledgement for somebody, and that keeps them motivated. That empowers them. Now you've built trust and connection, and that keeps them going a little bit longer. And when they keep going a little bit longer, they get a little bit closer to their why. They dig in a little bit deeper. They understand it a little bit more, and they're like, I'm here with you because you see me. I feel acknowledged, and I'm a part of something. People want to connect. They want to belong, and they want culture. That's probably why I've stayed in the online space for so long, is I finally feel like I'm with the people I'm supposed to be with in the community. I feel like I belong. I'm not comparing. I'm not judged. I feel like I'm home. And that's what people want to feel like, is that they fit in. So yes, money is great. And yes, having more time on my hands is awesome. But it also has to come down to that feeling of, what's the culture that I want to create for the people in my life? And that's going to set you apart as such a strong leader, because people are going to be like, damn, I really connect with her. She shows up for me and she sees me. I'm not just another number. I'm not just another person on her team. Like, we're a part of something together, and we're a community, and we're building culture, and that's powerful.
Mic drop.
Yep.
Crunchy drop.
A new term. We just created it.
Love that. I do love that.
Oh, that's so good. Devan, was that helpful? Like, was this call, like, this is our first ever call, and so we are open to feedback. And that's another thing of being a leader, is getting feedback, right? So was that helpful? Like, we definitely want to hear how that was for you.
Well, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. You two are wonderful human beings. And I don't know. I really love talking with people who are similar, right? Like, they, within the same industry, because you both are online, and you just, Carly, you have a beautiful family, and you have wonderful dogs, Allie. I love fitting in, I guess, feeling like you belong somewhere, and being able to talk to somebody about it, because it is such an incredible place, space. So you guys do such a great job, and I thought this was great. I loved listening to you guys talk. It was awesome.
Well, where can people find you? We want people to be able to go watch your funny videos.
I'm looking up on Instagram right now. I'm interested.
Yeah. He's going to go get one of those shell things. Don't rub it in. Just tap.
Just tap, 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 tap. So I guess I'm on Instagram. So I'm at DT Prasad 6 on Instagram. You can find me at Devan T. Prasad on Facebook. For my different live tutorial. Oh, look at that.
There it is.
That's my boy right there. Isn't he just the cutest? Look at his little cheeks. You just gotta grab him.
I love it. Oh,
And
we're authentically building business and raising babies is the new possible. What a great bio.
no,
Love it. Number one fan over here.
oh well, that's the best number one fan ever.
Oh, good.
Not a new stalker.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I just do kind of Facebook and Instagram, and then I just do different live tutorials and trials and stuff, and the Naturally New Beauty Shop, give or take,
Cool.
you know, whenever. And
Cool.
lots of people get to join in with me on there, and we get to be funny together or silly, or, you know, sometimes we actually are very serious too. I can be serious, not really, kind of. Start serious and then ends human.
That's what we're like doing. So maybe what we'll do then is we'll also maybe get you after this video to type your stuff in the comments so people can find it, because I would love for people to be able to follow you in your journey. So thank you again, Devan, so much. Any final words at all, Ali or Devan?
No, this was awesome. Amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks. Like, can we just stay on here all day, or do we have things to do? Oh, this was so good. I love it. And thank you for being our first. Thank you for fighting through those nerves, fighting through those feelings of that stress where it's like, oh my God, but that's even a block right there too, where it's like, what made you not want to maybe not show up or feel nervous? And then once you get into it, you're like, oh my God, that was good. That was easy. I liked it. I learned, I grew. So pushing past those little boundaries where we're like, oh my God, I'm a little nervous, and showing up as authentically as you did today, and just bringing your A game to be able to share, because again, how many people were able to learn something today from you? And that's so beautiful. And sharing your story and sharing your gifts, that's leadership. So thank you.
Totally. Yes. Let us know that in the comments. Did you learn something today? Please let us know. Give us a fun emoji, the little high, the little girl. What's that girl?
Yes, queen.
Girl?
Yes, queen.
Yes, queen. That one. You know. Awesome. Okay. Well, have an amazing rest of your day. And thanks again. We will be doing these calls at least once a month. We had the idea and we're like, this is so fun to be able to do. And we just want to be able to serve you. And we've got a ton of other fun things that we're going to be bringing to this group. Something very exciting that's coming probably in the next 10 days or so. We'll be announcing it. Yes, cannot wait. But yeah, just like constant value we're hoping, or we will be bringing to you guys. So have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks so much, Devan. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.
Awesome. Bye, guys.